And welcome back to coverage of the Super Sunday Series here from Renton, Washington. Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Randy Bueller. And play is underway here in the fourth round. This is the first round of Constructed. It's standard.
Yeah, there's Born of the Gods kicking in already.
There it is. Temple of Enlightenment for Aaron Lewis. It's the blue-white Scryland. Andrew Rodrup, he's got a Guildgate on his side.
So Andrew's deck is relatively straightforward. There you see turn 2 Pack Rat. You've probably seen that before.
Right.
It's a Black Devotion deck, but he's actually splashing a significant amount of white into the deck. He's not only running Blood Baron, but he's also running Elspeth.
Okay.
And the Blood Barons in particular, he thinks are really good in a field where everybody's got Bile Blights instead of Devoured Flesh. So Bile Blight does not kill Blood Baron the way Devoured Flesh could.
All right.
And meanwhile, I see Marshall scurrying over to look up that card. That is Meletus Astronomer.
That's right.
Any idea what Meletus Astronomer does? Don't look at your laptop.
I do know.
You already looked.
I know. No, I know what it does. I know it's got Heroic.
It does have Heroic.
And when it's targeted, you get to look at the top 3 cards of your library. And you get to get an Instant or Sorcery?
Enchantment.
An enchantment.
An enchantment. And guess how many enchantments are in Aaron Lewis's deck?
I don't know, but
Devour Flesh.
Devour Flesh takes down the
There's the fun. Yeah, so Aaron Lewis is running an Auras deck.
Okay.
He's got the hero that make the Auras cheaper. He's got the Eidolon of countless battles. It's kind of like the Boggles deck that's been running around formats for a while.
That's not all he has.
Oh, by the way, if you're playing, some planes in your deck, Brimaz is the king.
He is.
Turn 3 Brimaz.
So we see Brimaz versus Pack Rat, although triple Pack Rat draw here for Andrew.
Wow, 4 mana. He made 2 Pack Rats. How does that
that's
happen?
insane. So they're all 3/3s.
Yeah, they are. How do you... Wow, I don't know. I mean, Brimaz can't fight 3 Pack Rats, right?
No way. Especially not once Andrew gets to untap and make it 4. Now, I see blue and white cards here for Aaron Lewis, so that does lead me to believe that maybe there's Detention Spheres floating around in his deck.
Yeah, among the R's you can play is Detention Sphere. Oh, sick.
So he's going to put
There's the Eidolon, so that gives it's +1/+1 for each aura that's in play, right? And plus it's a natural...
for each aura and creature.
Each aura and creature, so that's 2/2. So that is a 5/6.
And now we also get a cat, too. From Brimaz attacking. So it's 1, 2, 3.
So you can still...
It should be a 6/7, right?
Oh, because of
there's an aura, a creature, and the original creature. Yeah. Now, that cat is attacking, by the way. So it's going to get probably just eaten up here.
Wow. That's
wow. So these are just huge punches.
Yeah, the cat is attacking whether you like it or not.
That's right.
So yeah, Pack Rat can block the cat, but I mean, he can't really afford to fight Brimaz. If he double blocks it, that's not good enough. If he double blocks it and blocks the cat token, then he'll lose all 3 of his Pack Rats.
If he triple blocks, he loses all 3 Pack Rats.
Yeah, no, he's going to lose both those Pack Rats because Brimaz can kill one of them and shrink the other. Okay, so this block will kill Brimaz. Brimaz will shrink to 5/6 when the
right, so this is interesting because that's happening actually on both sides of the table, right? The Pack Rats are shrinking, but the
Eidolon will
Brimaz
survive.
Yes.
Now he's thinking about a triple block. Doesn't that also die?
Let's see, that's 9.
Because you deal 3/2/1, and they all fall over, right?
3.
You deal 3 damage to 1 Pack Rat, 2 damage
right.
to another, 1 damage to the third, and then they all fall over.
Correct.
Yeah, this block is better. Because at least you also get the token. So Brimaz dies, the token dies, and the Eidolon hangs out.
So he gets a 1/1 out of the deal.
Brimaz just took on 3 Pack Rats.
That's insane.
That is good news.
He came out
if
swinging.
one Brimaz can take on 3 Pack Rats, I mean, it was 2 cards versus 3. He's even up a card.
Yeah, that's insane.
Wow.
Oh, here's a big problem, though, for Aaron Lewis as Blood Baron of Vizkopa hits the battlefield. And, being a white-based deck as Aaron Lewis's deck is, it's going to be
his
really
removal is
tough.
Detention Sphere, so that's...
Yeah.
That's also a white card. Eidolon enchants Eidolon. Okay. He's thinking maybe he can race. So Eidolon enchanting Eidolon is 3/3? No, 4/4. 5/5? Keep counting.
Well, so the one that's on there only counts as an aura and not a creature.
Right.
The one that's not
So it's a 2/2 and then a 3/3.
Right.
So 5. Underworld Connections.
So Underworld Connections for Andrew is going to start setting up a nice long game, though. Interestingly, he just drew another Blood Baron, and it's tough to think of a way for Aaron Lewis to get through this. I mean, Andrew's got to be at least aware of the fact that Supreme Verdict can be floating around here, though
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like Aaron's
He
deck
doesn't
is
look
a
like
Supreme
Aaron.
Verdict deck,
Yet
right?
more Born of the Gods. There's a Spirit of the Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Okay, the Eidolon counts auras or enchantments? It counts all enchantments, right?
Let me double check that.
I think it's all enchantments. So there's 3 enchantments in play. That's 6, and 3 creatures is 9.
Each creature and each aura.
So that's a 9/9 Eidolon. Not that it can block Blood Baron, but I mean Aaron's.
But is he going to actually be able to mount enough?
Well, with one Blood Baron on defense and the other on offense, it is tough for Aaron to get to race.
Yeah. He finds an AZORIUS Guildgate and just has to pass the turn back. Andrew's going to draw a card. He's got the full works going here. Double Blood Baron plus card draw engine with Underworld connections means that he can just swing freely here. He's going to attack with both of them, bumping him back up to 28 life. Jeez, playing the 3rd Blood Baron of his Copa.
This is what Andrew wanted. He wanted to play with Blood Baron today. I mean, I don't think he was thinking about Eidolons and enchantments, but yeah, Aaron Lewis scoops them up. Andrew Robdrup said, you know what? Everybody's going to switch to Bile Blights. They don't kill my Blood Barons. 4/4 gets the job done. And of course, Blood Baron's always been good against heavy black and heavy white. So
Yeah.
didn't run into Bile Blights, but he ran into essentially mono white. We can actually, I think we have Aaron Lewis's deck list. Oh, perfect. Right on cue. This thing is so sweet.
This deck is really cool.
I mean, I don't know how good it is, but it looks awesome. It also looks like it could be really good. 4 ethereal armors are just going to be awesome in this deck. Right? He's even got a couple Judges Familiars too. Fly over gigantic.
Now, let's take a look.
So it's a ton of enchantments, like Meletus Astronomer, Heroic, Trigger, go get more enchantments. This deck looks like it could be really good.
It does look really sweet.
Detention Sphere is just perfect, right? It gives you 3 removal spells, but they also, play with all your sort of linear enchantment friendly.
Now, what about for this matchup if we look at the sideboard?
Yeah, those Blood Barons are just annoying. Oh, 2 Domestication? No, that doesn't work.
It works.
It works
temporarily.
for a turn.
Yeah, like I mean,
It's
we
like
did
a
see that he
falter.
had 9 power creatures. And sometimes a falter is what you need, but not a long-term solution.
No.
Glare of Heresy doesn't work. God's Willing.
I mean,
potentially,
again, you can
but
sneak through
we're
one attack.
talking about 1 attack worth here.
Yeah, this looks like an awesome deck that just loses to Blood Baron.
Yeah, it does.
Not that he's always going to draw the Blood Baron, right? I mean,
Or
Andrew has
3.
to survive long enough. He really needed multiples.
Yeah, he
like
did.
1, the game would have just been stalemated. They would have
Right.
been staring across the battlefield at each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice, very cool deck for Aaron Lewis. Aaron Lewis, we mentioned, he's from Madison, Wisconsin, 34 years old. Been playing since the dark, 2 GP top 8s, including, and 2 recent ones, right? He's been playing since the dark. He top 8'd Charlotte in 2013, and he top 8'd Sacramento just a couple of weeks ago. So 2 recent GP top 8s. Andrew Rodrup qualified at Grand Prix Detroit. He is Canadian, so 22 years old, describes himself as a grinder from Kingston in Ontario.
What's his favorite draft format?
His favorite draft format is the correct answer.
Which is?
Rise of the Eldrazi.
Triple Rise. Good man.
Triple Rise.
Yeah, this is
Actually, kind of a interesting story with him. And he was on the Canadian World Magic Cup team last year, and they actually won the Spirit Award in part because, well, largely because his house burned down last year. But the Magic community all banded together, and they actually ran a fundraiser tournament just to sort of help him recover from that event. So community really banded together behind this guy and sort of helped him get his life put back together after that. But yeah, represented Canada at the World Magic Cup. Plays a bunch of Magic online. Favorite Magic card is Thragtusk. Aaron Lewis's favorite Magic card is a nice one, by the way. Aether Mage's Touch.
What is it? What does that do?
Aether Mage's Touch isn't that the one that lets you search for? It's an enchantment that lets you search your library for another enchantment. Am I thinking of the wrong card?
I'm reading it right now, buddy.
Oh, I am thinking of the wrong card. Sorry.
It's an instant that costs 2 white blue. Interestingly, he's not playing blue-white here, but reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. It gains at the beginning of your end step. Return this creature to its owner's hand. Then put the rest of the cards revealed this way on the bottom. So you get, you get to kind of see what you get, and then you get it back. That's actually a really cool card. I've never seen that card before. It's from Dissension. It's a rare.
His favorite limited format is also a reasonable choice.
Which was?
Original Ravnica block.
Oh, yeah. That's a reasonable choice. We will allow that. We've seen actually a pretty...
It's not like his name is Kid Ravnica.
That's true, which we already had.
That was our round 1 feature match, exactly.
Yeah. Now, is that Dave Shields versus Mahara in the background?
That is.
So
maybe we'll get Makihito Mahara.
Yeah, Dave
Looks
Shields won Grand Prix Dallas, I think it was.
Yep.
Call it a cat's on deck.
And Makihito Mahara's biggest accomplishment is being Makihito Mahara.
I heard Andrew Rodrup in between while they were shuffling have the judge read him a card. You know, it's like, what does that do again? Again, this is we're in a pretty unique scenario here as Born of the Gods became legal and became officially available for purchase yesterday.
Yep.
So this is about as early as you can possibly get for a standard tournament. You know, one day after the...
Yeah, a lot of people reading a lot of cards.
Yeah. And you'll hear us scramble around a little sometimes, too. I know a decent amount of them, but I don't know all of them yet. All right.
I see the ethereal
I see
armor.
an ethereal armor, too. And a Temple of Silence for Andrew, thinking about what he wants to do with the scry. He's going to ship it to the bottom, pass the turn back, and let's see what Aaron Lewis comes up with. These early turns, of course, very important for his deck.
Right.
And he finds the
There's the
Astronomer.
Astronomer again. That guy's base stats are 1/3?
Yeah, he's a 1/3.
That's a nice man.
That is. In a deck like this, where it's just going to keep, like, it serves 2 roles. It gives you a target for all of the auras, and it finds you more of them while you're casting them on it. Like, it's really nice.
Rashad says it's Tallow-Wisp reincarnate. No man likes Tallow-Wisp
He
more than
sees
Rashad.
Tallow-Wisp everywhere. All right, so we have a Thoughtseize here from Andrew, so we're going to get a chance to look at the hand here. And we've got a couple of ethereal armors. There's a Hopeful Eidolon, a Hollowed Fountain.
That's Eidolon of the Countless Battles.
And then the Eidolon of the Countless Battles as well.
Is that Hopeful Eidolon?
On the bottom, yeah. So Andrew's going to have to decide what he wants to do here.
You sure that's not the Born of the Gods 1/2 guy?
No, that one has the other frame.
Okay.
That one's Hopeful, yeah.
Got it.
So in the middle of your Thoughtseize, he picks up Miletus Astronomer to get a double check.
So if I don't take Ethereal Armor, trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, his next turn is like play a tap land, trigger, attack with my 7/8.
I mean, look how amazing this is with
That's
that
a
Astronomer.
7/8, right?
Every card, every spell in Aaron Lewis's hand triggers that Astronomer.
Right, and adds +1/+1 to the Ethereal Armor.
Yeah.
We should
This
go
is
back
a huge problem for Andrew. I mean, the window has closed for him to use some forms of spot removal already.
Turn 2.
Bioblight,
black mana.
it doesn't. Yeah, that's over.
All right.
You know.
Goes for the Eidolon of Countless Battles.
So goes for the biggest possible. And let's see what Aaron does here. This turn could be huge for him.
It's got to be Ethereal Armor.
Ethereal Armor, yeah. All right, so here's the first Ethereal Armor. He's going to look at the top 3. He gets to take an enchantment. He finds a Detention Sphere.
What?
This is
This
awesome.
is not fair. This is awesome.
And his turn is not close to being
He's
done
not.
yet.
Yeah, he's approaching the halfway point of the turn. That was fun. Let's do it again.
He's going to play
Pay
a
2
Hollowed
life.
Fountain untapped.
Okay, Spirit of the Labyrinth. He wants to have 2 different creatures.
Which
to play.
is an enchantment.
Right, still pumps up the Ethereal Armor.
Right, so he gets in there for 3 this turn. And next turn is going to be explosive as well. So Andrew's going to have
Yeah,
to
the Spirit's
find
playing,
something.
it's nice Devour Flesh insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I mean, if he goes all in on the Astronomer, he can get wrecked by Devour Flesh. So
Totally.
This line seems pretty good. Andrew's just shuffling his cards like, what do I... How do you play mono black against this?
Yeah, so is that an ultimate price in his hand? What is that?
I haven't seen his list.
It is. And he's going to take down the Miletus Astronomer
Yep.
immediately, and you can't blame him for that. I mean, he gets a 2-for-1 out of it, sort of.
Sort of. A lot closer to a 1-for-1 if you think
But-
about the Detention Sphere.
That's right. All right, and Andrew's going to take 3 damage here because Brimaz is going
by
to
the
hit
way.
the battlefield. Right, and the pressure continues. I mean, this is rough stuff. Aaron Lewis has to be thinking as aggressively as possible here, as he knows the clock could definitely be ticking on.
Yeah,
another
I mean, Blood Baron.
right?
Andrew's side of this matchup seems to come down to Blood Baron or no.
Right. And this will be his 4th land drop that he's going to hit this turn. And he has to stay alive long enough. Also, you know, we don't know if he has it in his hand. Yeah, he's going to pay 2 for Godless Shrine and pass. So maybe he wants to play 2 2-drops. Maybe he needed
activate Mutavault and play a 2-drop.
Mutavault, play a 2-drop, right.
He declined. I think he had a demon in his hand, but that was not going to get the job done.
So Aaron Lewis misses land drop.
Yeah.
But he is going to attack.
There.
And, I mean, he's got a board state that must be dealt with here. Here's Mutavault to block.
To chomp.
So is this going to be a Bile-Blight here? Yes, it is.
Okay.
So he takes 4 damage. That Vigilance Cat token just gets to hang out. And what's the follow-up play? Eidolon of Countless Battles.
So that's a 5/5? This is nuts. And he's kind of mana screwed.
I think it's a...
There's 3 creatures and 2 enchantments, right?
It counts auras.
Oh, it only counts auras. My
Right.
bad.
All right, so that's Revoke Existence to get rid of
Nice
it.
sideboard deck.
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing that card, I'm sure, in Standard for a while now. And a Pack Rat to follow up. So solid turns here from Andrew, even though he's fallen all the way down to 6 life. The Pack Rat can trade for the
Detention Sphere.
Yeah, but it's not going to matter.
And Ethereal Armor.
And
1, 2, 3.
1,
yeah, it's going to take some practice
4,
counting,
5,
but
6, and that's exactly
6.
lethal. So Aaron Lewis finds the victory. He never took his foot off the gas. I mean, it was every turn something you have to deal with, and Andrew did a pretty reasonable job of doing that, but unfortunately was falling behind at every step, and eventually never got it to Blood Baron situation. Andrew looks to the skies as he goes to his sideboard.
like, I would like to draw Blood Barons. I would like to draw Revoke Existences.
I mean, he had 3 of them in the first game, and Aaron had no way to deal with that, but 0 in this game, and Aaron was able to keep the pressure up. If you guys want to figure out how to get here yourself, you can be one of the 40 or so players that plays in next year's Super Sunday Series Championship. It's pretty easy to get here outside of a few things. the first one is going to a Grand Prix. You can do that. Yeah.
You can do that a couple times.
You can do that. You also have to not make day 2 at the Grand Prix, which is very easy.
True.
Yeah. But then you get to play in the Super Sunday Series event on Sunday at the Grand Prix. The hard part is you have to win it. But these are winnable tournaments. I mean, I'm out at these things, and they're
winnable in the same way that like PTQs are winnable.
Yeah,
somebody's going to win.
It's some amount of people. It's
one of the several hundred players.
Mm-hmm. And if you do, then it's really easy from there. You get flown out to Seattle. You get put up in
free
a hotel.
Airfare, free hotel.
Yeah, you get to come out and compete with a relatively small pool of players for a prize pool of $20,000. The winner of this event's going to get $6,000. Yeah. That's a lot of money for a 40-person tournament. I mean, there's a lot of F&Ms that are, like big-ish F&Ms are 40 players, and imagine scooping an F&M. Now, this feels a little tougher.
So if you can win F&M, you can win this? That's your story?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as you can see, it pays all the way down to 16th place with cash prizes of up to $500 for 9th through 16th, and peaking out at $6K for first. And everybody's walking out of here with a booster box of Born of the Gods, and that's pretty sweet in and of itself, not to mention the trip, and you get to meet a bunch of cool Magic players.
Yeah, hang out with
from
the R&D
all
guys.
around the world.
Yeah, a bunch of R&D guys floating around all day.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I think the number will go up as the day ends and the drafting begins.
Agree.
That's my theory. I think we have a metagame breakdown, too. You can take a look at how this standard is shaping up while these guys shuffle for Game 3.
Take a look at Gavin Verhey in the background there, too, speaking of R&D guys. Yep. So take a look at the metagame.
Yep, Black Devotion, most played deck. That's probably not a surprise. AZORIUS Control. Those seem like 2 of the 3 decks that were expected, but we mentioned this earlier. There's not a single Blue Devotion deck anywhere in this field.
God, things must have changed dramatically.
39 players, and none of them wanted to run it. Drown in Sorrow probably had something to do with that. Bile-Blight probably had something to do with that. But yeah, some people stuck with their Black Devotion. Some people stuck with their AZORIUS Control. And the rest of the field, did you look at the giant gap? I'm sure we'll get back on this later, but nothing else has more than 3 copies.
Okay, so very
like the gap
diverse.
after the 2 big decks is just everybody else has got a brew, basically.
I love seeing that early in the format. That's probably the most exciting part of Standard.
Definitely.
Andrew has no turn 2 play. Aaron Lewis, no turn 1 play, except for a Temple of Enlightenment. He's going to take 2, so he's playing something here. And there it is.
Spirit of the Labyrinth.
Spirit of the Labyrinth. So a solid 3-1 beater here.
3-1 beater's good. I mean,
It
turning
is.
off the opponent's card draw isn't relevant to this matchup.
Right.
I mean, it might force Andrew to use his Underworld connections on Aaron's turn. Is about all it'll do here.
Mm-hmm.
But really good against the Esper or AZORIUS control decks that are floating around.
And we see.
And the thing is, even though the ability's not relevant here, it's still a 3-1 beater for
That's
2
right.
mana. Like, it still pulls a removal spell, and it's actually bigger than 3-1 here because it pumps up the ethereal armors.
That's right. And you can see a downside to Spirit of the Labyrinth is that it's an enchantment, and meaning that it got revoke existence in this
it's
case.
not really a downside in this deck. This deck seems like the best.
Huge upside in this deck. All right, so we have 2 1-for-1s. Brimaz comes down, but gets Doombladed immediately. Andrew's not going to take any chances on letting his opponent untap. You know, it could be tempting to let him. You know,
Yeah,
maybe
but I
try
mean,
to
he
throw
knows God's Willing's a card.
Yep. And he's going to play a Scryland and no follow-up. So this could be very good for Andrew. I mean, one strategy that heavy removal-based deck like Andrew's can take is kill all your creatures and strand all of those auras in your hand.
True.
All right. So
Although Bestow kind of thwarts that.
it does.
I mean, other than ethereal armor, does he have any auras that aren't Bestow?
I don't know. We had the list up a little while ago.
Yeah. I think
Still, I
it's
mean, if your opponent starts playing Hopeful Eidolons as 1/1s for 1, you're probably doing fine there.
fair.
Here's a Night Veil Spectre that is getting into the red zone. And it's going to remove...
Brimaz, and he's got enough white mana to
Wow.
just plain cast it.
That is so brutal.
Jeez. Hadn't thought about that advantage of the black devotion with the white splash.
No kidding.
Jeez. I want one of these. They look like fun.
And he just passes the turn back, but that is a huge swing in Andrew Rodruph's favor.
Definitely.
And Aaron Lewis, especially because it feels like he's slowed down a little bit here.
All right.
Right.
Ethereal armor on the Eidolon.
And it looks like it's going to get Hero's Downfall, potentially. I guess there's
Really?
no reason to do it right now. Oh, he's got Bile Blight, and there's God's Willing. Okay.
Wonder if Andrew was supposed to do that main phase.
You know, he did it before,
Yeah, no, I think in this case.
and he decided not to
Wow.
play around it this time. And it's going to battle.
3, 6, 7? Is that right?
They have it at 9. 1, 2, 3. It's
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
They each count each other, so it's actually 9. Wow.
That's awesome.
Now Aaron is going to take a bit of a crackback here, but there's a God's Willing to give
What just happened?
Okay, so what happened is he played Elspeth. He
Right.
minused Elspeth. Aaron
Right.
was forced to protect his Eidolon with a God's Willing, but he had to name protection from white.
Oh,
And
so the
unfortunately,
ethereal
that
armors
knocked
fell
off the armors, yeah. Also, does that even work?
No, I think he's knocking them off on purpose.
Oh, he's knocking them off so that it just doesn't
So that
kill
it shrinks
Yeah,
below
okay. That
the,
makes sense. But it's not targeted.
The white ability's not targeted. It kills everybody
That's why I
with
was
4 power.
asking. Yeah, but this
But this
also
shrinks
gets
it-
around it too, yeah.
Not a great play.
And not. I mean, you
it's
can't
kind of
be
thing you
happy
do when you're
with that.
desperate to scry, right?
Yeah, that does not sound like exciting work. There's a Hopeful Eidolon, though. I think it's going to get bestowed upon the Eidolon, and there's a chump block as well. That's going to gain some life for Aaron Lewis. He's going to go up to 14, but you got to feel like he's way behind here as, boom, Elspeth Sun's Champion's going to make 3 tokens. Brimaz is going to make a token.
Is this matchup actually bad for Aaron? I guess
I mean, kind of the mono removal
it feels
deck,
like
is
he's the more powerful. Yeah, maybe it's just all the removal's good. I honestly can't tell. I mean, it looks like Andrew's. Sorry, it looks like Andrew is in good position to win this match. But it also feels like he's gotten kind of like his draws have been kind of perfect.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, Hidden Brimaz off the top of your opponent's deck when you can just straight cast.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty sweet. Oh, and Andrew accidentally
And hitting 3 Blood Barons in the
drops
first
his
game.
Blood Baron on the table like, oops. Still have this guy hanging around, and
Jeez,
there's
he's got
2 in
two,
his
yeah,
hand.
all right.
Yeah, all right. So the writing's on the wall here, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Hero's Downfall as well, just to really seal the deal here. Interesting. I mean, how isn't Elspeth just awesome versus Aaron Lewis's deck? Like, do any of his creatures have evasion?
No, I mean you can
Do they
pro
just
white
get
them.
chump blocked? You can pro white them for a turn.
Yeah, there's the
and
hand.
that's going to do it. Andrew Robdrup is our winner here. He's going to improve to 4-0.
Yeah, I think there's only going to be 2 4-0s. Like I think he is tied